हेलो एवरीवन, मेरा नाम है देव और आज हम अंकुश जी के साथ हैं। हाय अंकुश जी, कैसे हैं आप?
वेरी वेल।
आज हम बात करेंगे। अंकुश जी फाउंडर हैं फॉइब के। फॉइब फ्रैक्शनल ओनरशिप प्लेटफॉर्म है। मैं अगर आपको सिंपल भाषा में समझाऊं तो फ्रैक्शनल ओनरशिप प्लेटफॉर्म वो होते हैं जो आपको एक प्रॉपर्टी में एक फ्रैक्शन बाय करने की फ्रीडम देते हैं। जैसे आप मार्केट में देख रहे होंगे, काफी फ्रैक्शनल ओनरशिप प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं जो आपको 6 करोड़, 7 करोड़, 10 करोड़ की प्रॉपर्टी में 50 लाख के अंदर एंटर करने की चांस देते हैं। आज हम जानते हैं अंकुश जी से कि ये इंडस्ट्री कितनी बड़ी है और क्या इसका फ्यूचर होगा इंडिया में, और कैसे अंकुश जी इसको वे फॉरवर्ड देखते हैं।
Thank you so much, Dave. It's a pleasure to always come and actually discuss the new concept of fractional ownership with the industry. In fact, I'll segmentize this कि जिस तरह से industry चल रही है. When I was a part of the industry, I joined the industry. It was about 4 years back in the fractional ownership space for pre-leased assets, and I have seen that the industry has grown multiple fold over the years. आज industry है 4,000 करोड़ plus की. And if you know about the recent regulations, SEBI has okayed the framework for real estate assets in fractional ownership. That's a big turnover, and I think it's a point where, like mutual funds, this industry will take off from here. My submission here is that before any investment we make, any investment in the fractional ownership space, you have it in the pre-lease asset, you have it in the holiday home space, you have multiple new concepts coming in where people can invest part and become the owner of an asset. But the entry point, the price where you enter the asset is very important. The second part is that कि आपको evaluate करना पड़ेगा that which platform has given an exit. For now, I would be very vocal by saying that exits have not happened, though the industry is around 5 years old. There have been just managed exits which have happened in the recent past. But one has to look at a platform जिसकी काबिलियत है, जिसकी ability है to give an exit in the market. That's very important. For us, we've taken very baby steps. हमने भी industry अपना काम start करा है as a platform, and it's been 2 years where I've been acquiring, fractionalizing assets and redeveloping it. We, out of 11 assets, have given exits to 3 assets where we have given return to the customer at 20% plus. One is in DLF Phase 4, second is in B Block Sushant Lok 1, and the third one is in Sun City. All are in Gurgaon. Now we'll be looking at assets in the land space, commercial space, SCO space, holiday homes, but we'll be very conscious on one fact, that when you buy the asset, it has to be at a value price point, deep value, because that is the basis of any real estate in India or worldwide. That if you buy the asset at the right price point, you cannot fail and the customer definitely gets an exit. One point which I like to add, entry karna at the moment is fairly easy because you get lucrative opportunities where you can enter the asset, give a rental top up, however the formats are working in the market. But for us, it's a reverse way. We look at how will the asset exit in the near future. That's the premise for FOIB, and we'll ensure that that is the basis of FOIB moving forward in the years to come.
तो अंकुश जी, जैसे भी आपने कहा कि इट्स ऑल अबाउट कि काफ़ी सारे प्लेटफॉर्म है, बट काबिलियत, तो क्या काबिलियत और क्या आपकी स्ट्रेटजीज होती हैं कि आपके इन्वेस्टर जो एंटर कर रहे हैं आपके प्रोडक्ट में, आपके एसेट में, उन्हें सही टाइम पे सही रिटर्न के साथ एग्जिट मिल सके?
See, whenever you acquire an asset, you need to look at from various factors. जब आप acquire करते हैं, आपको माइक्रो मार्केट समझना पड़ता है, आपको ये समझना पड़ता है कि वो asset perform कैसे करेगा. While I talk about value assets, these are last mile transactions. Assets from land to plotting, from assets which are not completed, and we can come in as a platform and raise funds for them. So it all depends. आपको देखना पड़ेगा that where are you taking up the asset. When you're picking the asset, that's very important, the point. And from our experience, which is I would say a dual experience which me and the platform carries, one on the development side, one at my background in terms of the, I would say, knowledge and everything we've acquired and the team, we will be sure on the fact that whatever assets we pick has a value.
Okay. तो अंकुश जी, अभी हम जब बात कर रहे थे, हम डिस्कशन कर रहे थे इस इंडस्ट्री के बारे में, तो यू टोल्ड मी कि जो अभी इंडस्ट्री ज्यादातर काम कर रही है वो प्री लीज एसेट पे कर रही है। तो आप क्या सोचते हैं और आपका वे फॉरवर्ड क्या होगा कि फॉइब में आप प्री लीज के अलावा क्या क्या और एड ऑन कर सकते हैं और कैसे अपना पोर्टफोलियो डाइवर्सिफाई कर सकते हैं?
See, Dev, our mission as a platform is, one of the mission at the platform is innovation. So uske chalte, obviously we'll not be looking at only pre-lease asset. In the long run, definitely we'll be looking at pre-lease assets, but we are looking at value opportunities, which means that any place where you can identify, evaluate, और आप उस टाइम पे, फॉर एग्जाम्पल देयर इज एन एंटायर बिल्डिंग एंड द डेवलपर नीड्स मनी एट द लास्ट माइल, उनका बिल्डिंग फिनिश करने का, एंड ही नीड्स अबाउट 10% ऑफ द एंटायर बिल्डिंग. देयर इफ यू कैन रेज स्ट्रक्चर एंड रेज फंड्स फॉर द डेवलपर, दैट इज समथिंग वेयर the customer will get value from a long term perspective, because the building will get finished, it will get leased, and then the value will go up on the capitalization front. So we will ensure, that's one way to look at. Second, we'll be looking at land, which is raw land, do the due diligence, ensure that the entire paperwork is in place, the chain of documents is in place, and then there is plotting. So we will also enter into transactions which are structured transactions. Okay. That structured transaction में क्या रहता है कि if a building is delivered and pre-leased, it's reached to a point that the value is established. Then you have to wait for the markets to perform and the markets to go up from a long-term perspective, and then you make money for the investor, which is called targeted IRR in the current scenario. But हमारे साथ we go a step back. We look at transactions which are basically at that point in time जहाँ पे developer को जरूरत है, and we come in as a platform and raise funds for them. That's one way to look at. So innovation will be the basis for FOIP in every transaction.
एंड व्हाट अबाउट एग्जिट? जब हम एग्जिट की बात करते हैं, जब भी कोई इन्वेस्टर एंटर कर रहा होता है तो उसको एक बेसिकली ड्यू डिलिजेंस या उसको एक फियर होता है कि यार मैं प्रॉपर्टी में एंटर तो कर रहा हूँ, बट कब एग्जिट मिलेगा और एग्जिट का क्या प्रोसेस होगा? हाउ डू यू मेक श्योर कि यार उसको वो रिटर्न मिले ही और एग्जिट मिले ही?
Again, going back to what I said very clearly, that if you buy anything at a deep value, in Indian terminology, अगर आप एक चीज को सस्ता लेते हैं तो आपको एग्जिट का तकलीफ या टेंशन लेने का कोई जरूरत नहीं है. सो फ्रॉम द सेम व्यू we ensure that you pick up something at a discount, or I would not say discount, rather a deep value, just has a basis to grow further definitely. So exit के लिए we entered the space, as I told you, in the residential arena, in the redevelopment arena, and last 2 years we've been doing credible work from the customer acquisition, asset acquisition, exit perspective. We've given 3 exits at the moment. One is in B Block, DLF Phase 4 and Sun City. These are all residential assets. We picked up at the right value, we redeveloped it quickly, and we sold it. And the returns have hovered 20% northward. So this means that in eventuality, ये returns 12, 13, 14% रहता gross. But we made it at the right time. We added value. Now it has been sold at 20% plus. There, the cumulative overall value for the investor is much higher than the normal exits.
So अगर हम देखें, अभी आपने मुझे बताया कि जैसे फेज 4 में आपने एग्जिट किया, तो जो ये प्रॉपर्टीज हैं, the token size is little bit like token size थोड़ा सा छोटा है कि आपका 6 करोड़ 7 करोड़ की. बट जब हम बड़ी बात करते हैं, कोई बड़ा इन्वेस्टर जो 50 करोड़ की 100 करोड़ की चीज देखता है, तो वहाँ पे फ्रैक्शनल ओनरशिप में जब आप 100 करोड़ की कोई चीज खरीद रहे हैं और उसको आप रीडेवलप करके या प्लॉटिंग करके जब आप बेचेंगे, तो वहाँ क्या प्रोसीजर रहता है या कितना टाइम उसको लग जाता है या कैसे ये डील्स होती हैं?
See, we've started slow, conscious, but the way forward plan is to pick up assets between 50 crores to 500 crores, and obviously try to abide by the SEBI norms as well. If you say, the fact is that first we had to prove a point. We had a point in place that we have to prove the fact that we can do this business convincingly. You know, now implementing the same fact on larger assets, we'll be very conscious in what we are picking at the moment, right? Pre-lease assets definitely are good enough from a long-term perspective, but the structures will be very innovative for us. I don't want to detail the structures at the moment because the team is working over it. We're getting multiple proposals, and we should be able to launch a particular asset in the month of December.
तो अंकुर जी, जो अभी हमारे व्यूअर्स देख रहे हैं, जो इन्वेस्टर्स जो हमें कॉल करते रहते हैं, तो अभी हमारे पास, अभी आपके पास ऑन प्लेटफॉर्म क्या क्या चीजें अवेलेबल हैं? किसी के पास 50 लाख है, किसी के पास 1 करोड़ है. क्या अभी आपके पास इन्वेस्टर आके 1 साल, 1.5 साल या 2 साल का टाइम पीरियड लेके 12-15% रियल एस्टेट में एक एसेट में लॉक इन होके बना सकता है? क्या अभी अवेलेबल है हमारे पास?
See, for now we are in the acquisition mode. We will be acquiring, as I said, one asset in December, and we'll be launching that for our investors, your investors. But for the retail market, whatever assets we have developed, they're almost all of them are at the finishing stage, and we will be happy to offer that, which ranges between 1.65 crores to 5 crores, we have assets which are getting redeveloped and now out for sale for our investors. So these are available. These are 6 assets which are available at the moment, and I can share the details with you for our viewers as well. And once we bring in the new assets, we aspire to bring in an asset of 20-25 crores in December, and we will be happy to take investments as minimum ticket size of 20 lakh. This, which sector it will be, I would not be able to disclose that right now, but we are contemplating a couple of assets, and this should be in the land or commercial or residential, any of them which we feel as it at a deep value. So we'll be bringing that in December 2023 for sure.
तो जैसे अभी अंकुर जी ने बताया, वी आर लॉन्चिंग अ डील इन दिसंबर, काफ़ी अच्छी वैल्यू बाय होने वाली है. सो एनीबडी हु इज लुकिंग फॉर इन्वेस्टिंग 20 lakhs और मे बी इज लुकिंग फॉर बाइंग अ फ्लोर और बिल्डर फ्लोर जो रीडेवलप हो और सही रेट पे उसे मिल जाए मार्केट से, तो यू कैन कॉन्टैक्ट अस. अंकुर जी, आपसे मिलके बहुत अच्छा लगा.
थैंक यू सो वेरी मच.
मिलेंगे. We'll be showing you some properties जो अंकुर जी ने डेवलप करी है. बाय बाय, टेक केयर.